Did you call the police? Are you convinced that they won't do a thing? Then we can go on to serious matters. Read these 2 letters and tell me what you think of them.
Vampires, hosts. My lord, I must elucidate this sorry affair. Let's subject Stefan Luca to some methodical questioning. The letters you showed me raise a lot of questions. First of all, what exactly does the term vampire signify?
Vampire, wampir, upir, upir, brucolacus for the Greeks. Do these words really evoke nothing for you?
To tell you the truth, they do. I seem to recall reading something about these, creatures. So, if I understand right, Martha tried to drive them back with a communion host ground into a powder?
That's right, with the crumbs from the host. She drew a protective circle.
Tell me, was the host consecrated?
I suppose so.
Did Father Gregoriou know that this sort of activity was going on in his parish?
The best would be for you to ask him the question. That's the frightful reality.
And why don't the residents do something to rid themselves of a curse like that?
Because they're resigned and submissive. To vanquish evil, you have to be strong. She wasn't that old.
Overwork, perhaps?
Come on, she was in perfect health. Just before she died, she was still hiking in the mountains. Since the war, we've changed our nationality and our official language. One thing hasn't varied: the ineffectiveness of the police. Worse, I think they've sold out to our enemy. I have reason to believe they wanted to intimidate Martha, or even worse. Yes, we chatted over a glass of Tswika, our local prune brandy. Janos is a great lad, very cultured, but he has a rare lack of imagination. Young Maria? No, I didn't want to frighten her. I don't think she can help us in any case. Father, help me resume the task that Martha began. With a priest at my side, I'd feel stronger.
It's not so simple. You see, this affair is really not in my purview. I have to question Father Gregoriou about this sinister story of vampires.
Number, please. Just one moment, please. You're connected. Greenleaf Rest Home. Good day.
Could I speak to Father Gregoriou Nigescu, please? This is Father Arno Moriani.
One moment, I'll see.
This is Father Gregoriou Nigescu.
Hello. This is Father Arno Moriani. Father, I have to discuss a very delicate subject with you. Please answer my questions very precisely. It's important. Do you know Stefan Luca?
He's a journalist, a friend of Martha's. They developed photographs together.
According to Stefan Luca, Martha Caligaro believed in vampires and engaged in strange rituals.
It's true. And before you ask the question, yes, I helped her.
You do know the position of the church on this subject, don't you?
I know it. And I don't doubt that it's a very reasonable position when you think about the question, seated in an office in Rome. But in Vladoviste, the situation is different.
Do you want me to tell you how things happened?
I went to the dispensary to give extreme unction to Seldrick, a poor child who's wasting away. I uttered a few of the usual prayers, and then I gave Martha the sacred hosts. She used the wafers to draw a protective circle around the sick boy. Was it sacrilege? You're entitled to think so. But the child was going to die in spite of the transfusions. We had to try everything to drive away the creature that was feeding on him. What would you have done in my place? Unfortunately not. 2 nights later, the window opened mysteriously, and the wind blew away the protective circle. Martha found the child dead, with wounds on his neck. Yes, a waste of time. The war began shortly after the child's death. I left the village to serve as an army chaplain. And upon my return, we tried to save a young amnesia victim. The girl seemed possessed. She ripped off the garlic necklaces that we hung on her neck and left her room every night. She didn't survive long. Young Ariel almost died as well, but Martha saved him by sending him away from the village. It was probably the only thing to do. It's very likely. I knew she was threatened. I'd offered her a dog to protect her. Now that seems to me to have been laughable. As if a dog could have stopped the enemy she was confronting.
Do you think that enemy was a vampire? A supernatural creature?
An emanation of the devil. If you'd lived a few years in Vladoviste, you wouldn't doubt it. Martha spoke to me of it. It's a sort of accursed way of the cross, which leads to the source of evil. She embarked upon it against my advice. I wanted to protect her. Oh, I was wrong.
Why is that?
She died fighting. I fled. Today, it is she who has the good part.
Thank you for your frankness, Father. Of course, you realize that after your revelations, Martha will never be canonized.
Yes, of course. What does it matter if she rests in peace?
Another thing. If a direct question is asked, I shall be forced to evoke your part in this business.
So be it. But you should know that my only regret is not to have helped Martha more. In the end, I slipped away. It was cowardly of me.
The Lord is our only judge. I have no wish to condemn you. Goodbye, Father Gregorio. I wish you a good rest.
Goodbye, Father Arno.
All right, now it's time to make my report to Monsignor Briganti.